get started in just a few minutes. As you guys on YouTube are getting logged in, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have a goal of hitting 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. And if I do, I will start a new small account challenge on January 1st. So that is something to get excited about. All right, let's see. So it's 8:30 a.m. I thought that this would be a good time to start the broadcast so I can take a look at if there's any breaking news headlines getting posted right here at about 8:30. We obviously have BKKT, which we'll be talking about quite a bit today. So BKKT, I was watching it. I was watching it when it was consolidating right here, and I saw this candle happen. It went from, let's see, so that candle opened at 25, squeezed up to almost 28, and then flushed to 24. And when I saw that, I was like, man, I'm glad I'm not trading right now. That was at 3 in the afternoon, 3:15. So definitely a wake-up call when you see that type of move. You think, there's no way someone could have lost money on this stock yesterday. But when you see a move like that, that right there, you jump in with 10,000 shares, let's just say for the break of 26, then you add another 5,000 for the break of 26.50. Now you got 15,000 shares, squeeze up a little bit further, and then that huge rejection. So, that could be a $30,000 loss. And then you look back and it goes without you. So after hours, all the way up to a high of $57.50. There's probably a question at some point on some of these of when does it make sense to start holding some of these overnight as a swing trade. But one of the things that I was a little cautious on with this one is that it's a NYSE listed stock. So we know that NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, has a history of halting stocks that are up big, and this one's certainly up big. Even when they have had news, they've still halted them and asked the company to respond to price action. And the company says, well, what do you mean? There's no news, of course, other than what was out there, so there's no news. And usually that hurts the stock. So yeah, because it's an NYSE listed stock, I am hesitant. Now I know it was halted pending news. What's the ticker for MasterCard? MA. So that was let's see. Were they both halted? Show 5-minute chart, it's easier to see. What time was that on BKKT? So they halted T1. Let's see. So what's that was at 13. So 1 o'clock. Oh my God, there's so many headlines here on this. All right, well, whatever. I'm pretty sure FISV, let me look. I see, right. So in any case, I'm pretty sure it wasn't halted by the exchange. I had thought that was a just halted pending news. But I could be wrong. I wasn't. I sat down yesterday afternoon and looked at BKKT. It was like around whatever time this was right here, 3 o'clock, and I saw that. I was kind of wondering. I was like, could this be a trade into the close or into tomorrow? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, all right, well the high there's 28. And as it started to break out, I was like, well, guess I missed it. And then when it did that false breakout, I was like, you know what? That's risky stuff. So, I had a great day yesterday. No reason to give back that profit on the afternoon choppiness. All right, so let's see. So I'm streaming my watch list on YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you hit the thumbs up. Really enjoyed doing these broadcasts for you guys. Yep, Mike's in the large cap room. So we've got the small cap room here, we've got the large cap room here. So large cap traders, of course, tend to focus more on stocks like Tesla and perhaps Facebook on some of the days they're volatile. Small cap traders like to focus on lower price stocks generally. So this platform here is our the Warrior Trading platform. So you can log in here. Of course, you have to agree to terms and conditions disclaimer, which I'll put up here for those streaming on Facebook and YouTube. In case you didn't already know, trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money, so you shouldn't try to blindly follow me or anyone else for that matter. Once you get logged in, you can see the scans. You can log into trading rooms. No, I finished yesterday up just about $60,000. And that was on BKKT. My first entry was around 11 as it popped up on our scanners. So if this breaks VWAP and starts to fade, then that's going to be certainly a bearish indicator. PROG, let me take a look. What's the short interest on this? You think so, Dean, and maybe, but not necessarily. It's impossible to know. Yeah, over 5 on PROG. But that big move pre-market, I don't know if it's going to be able to reclaim that. ROIV, not really familiar with this one. It's got a 700 million share float, which is huge. So, I don't know. We can check over here, just confirm that. From Winnipeg, hi, good morning. Yeah, it's a pretty big float on this one. It says 222 million shares. That was as of September. But, I don't know. Nice, Chris. Good morning, Alex. So pre-market highs. Levels to watch. So, as always, sitting down, looking and waiting for the one. BRPM. Yeah, over 13 if it broke yesterday's pre-market highs, but very volatile range. WBX up 36%. Check the float on that. So I'm not sure how many shares WBX is, but the chart's tricky because it went all the way up to 24, but has pulled back quite a lot. BRPM warrants. Yeah. Nice, Grant. I just, usually let it roll over, Chris. I'm not sure if we're going to see good continuation on BKKT. It's up 50%, so it's our third leading gapper here. Generally, the gap scan today is a lot of higher float stocks. METX is too cheap. Similar. MOGO, pop up and pull back. Yeah, the pop up and pull back. FPAC. Special acquisition company. 60 million Class A. And there's 9.7 Class B. Nicey stock and easy to borrow. DWAC, I sort of agree at this point. It's not really in play until it can get back above like 100, our first daily candle to make a new high after a couple days of pullback for short covering. Right now, I don't really see a setup. And I think what has happened on DWAC could very well happen on BKKT as well. I think the question will just be whether or not that's the top right there and we fade off this level, or if we have a second leg up. So DWAC, we had that first day and then it continued after hours, and the next day pre-market it was around VWAP and it started to pull away. It made new highs, then pulled back and then ripped into the open, right? So that's the type of thing I would watch on BKKT. If it broke over the high here, 54.82, and then 57, then we would be looking for that rip into the open. But right now, at this moment, it's below the volume weighted average price. And it has a, tight spread at the moment, but it generally has a pretty big range, and so the risk is a bit higher. The low back there was 45.75. So, call it 46. So at the moment, it's breaking below the volume weight average price, and it's below the 9 and the 20 moving average. So it seems like this one may be already rolling over. And if it breaks this level here, 45.73, I would kind of think of that as a short. That's a confirmation of it breaking down. I don't like to see it fading, but it made a big move already. So even if it does pop back up, like I said on DWAC, I think the big money for me was to be made on the first day of the move when it went from lower price up to higher price. To make really big money on it today, I don't know. We would need to see a pretty huge move. So we've got about 8 minutes until 9 a.m. So at 9 a.m. we'll be watching to see if there's any fresh headlines. So I see that WBX curling up a little bit. It's got bigger spreads and slightly lighter volume. So there's a catalyst on here with Uber. So, something like this, the high there was 1785, but we know the pre-market high was way up there at 24. So I'll take a starter there at 18, and I'll add over 1850. Watching 1850 and then 19. So adding right there for the break of 20. So this is with the Uber catalyst, it's a pretty strong catalyst. So I'm looking for the breakthrough 20, taking half off the table at 20. And now I'm going to just hold this for a few minutes. And I'm going to switch to my other account, watch the high here of 2077 for a dip trade. Bought the dip there at 99, now looking for 21. So my thought on this one, took the profit, new order goes at 21, watch 21, and then 22. So target is the pre-market high of 2450. Watching the dip. Added right there for the break of 21, now looking for 22. Watch this as it continues to squeeze up. So this is basically getting today's setup as early as possible. So now watching the break of 22. Dip trade long right there for the break of 22. So holding 3,000 shares. Looking for the break of 22 and then 23. Holding 7,000 in this account. Stop at break even on the rest. High here is 22. New order goes at 22. Added right there, 2159, 3,000 shares. Next add is 2175. I think the good thing that we have on this is that Uber catalyst. Watching over 2175. So added there, 6,000 shares for the break of 2175, then 22. Taking a little more off the table in that account, holding 2,700 shares. Average is 2148 in this account. I'm going to let it pull back. and then try to catch a dip entry. So right now, this is our leading gap. We're at 82%. The low of that pullback was $20.20. I'm a buyer on this. I'm just looking for the next level. Needs to break through 22. Added right there for the break of 22. Next ad's 22.50. Added there. Now looking for 23. Then 24. So let's ride this momentum. Next ad's 22.75 and then 85.95. Added at 75. Added at 85. Holding 13,000 shares and looking to add on this over 23.50 for a retest of the pre-market high. Watch 23.50. So buying right there at 81 for the break over 23. Holding 5,000 shares. I'm going to let it pull back. There's 23. High of this candle is 23.10. Nice. Adding right there for the move to 24. 17,000 share bid at 23 is my backstop. Adding at 70, 23.70 for the break of 24. Holding 9,500 shares. Adding back at 24. And our double top target's 24.50. Added right there for the squeeze up to 24.50. Nice. Still holding 2,700 shares there. Taking a little more off the table. Up 115%. High of this candle is 25. I'm going to let it pull back. Added right there because all of a sudden big bids popping up. So now we're ripping fast. Watch this. This is parabolic momentum here. Whoa. Okay. Holding. Looking for adds as this goes parabolic. The high there is 36. Added there at 34. Watch for a squeeze up to $40. As these start to go parabolic like this is where early short sellers get caught off guard. Added right there, $34.55 for the squeeze through $40. Holding at $32.85 right now, 1,000 shares. Holding 700 shares there. Watching for dip entries. That was a pretty epic squeeze there. Bought the dip. So I just added on that dip. Now looking for the retest to 35. This is up 180%. Obviously we have the Uber news. So if this breaks over 34, then I'm a buyer. I want to remind traders, as always, that trading is risky, in case you didn't already know that. Added right there. Now looking for the squeeze through $34. Next ad's 35. Adding at 35. Now looking for 36. There's 38. Taking profit as it squeezes a little higher. Next ad is 37. Watch for dip trades. Very volatile. Added at 32.79 for a dip. Retest to 34. 2.4 million shares of volume. Holding 2,000 shares. Watching now for a new entry. Still holding 700 shares from 1821. Holding 500 now. High of this candle is 38. Now the nice thing with this stock is that we've got a lot of room on the daily. So I buy higher when I believe in a stock, I believe in the setup, I'm looking for bigger moves. So watching now for dips, added there at $30.45. $30.45. 1,500 shares, just a starter. Take half off at $32.50. High of this 1 minute candle is $33.75. So this is our headline that we have on this at 8 a.m. It popped up, it pulled back, and then on this one where I got in, I waited for it to break the volume weighted average price. Broke the VWAP, and then I was adding as it was through the VWAP. So I added as it was moving higher, for sure. But I don't mind doing that. Watching, added down there, 2,000 shares, dip trade for the break back over 32. And taking some profit off 33. High of this candle is 34. That squeeze right here, that was epic. From 25 to 35, I haven't seen something like that in a long time. That was awesome. That was an epic squeeze right there. So holding 640 shares at the moment, and added on another dip at 31.12 for the breakthrough 32. 33 and 34. Looking for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So watching the 1 minute setup over $32. Added right there for the break of 32. Took a partial fill for profit. Next add is going to be the high of this pivot, 33.37. New orders at 34, so it's ready to go. Uber and Wallbox team up on the road to zero emissions. So holding 286 shares in my retirement. I'm taking those off the table, and I'm going to put a new order to add back. I'm afraid, I think this is going to have a big red candle, and I think that that's the spot to watch to be a buyer. 29.23. Dip trade there, 29.24. So bought the dip. Now watch back over 31. Right, so we get that dip trade and then added right there. Now looking for the squeeze back up to 31.32 as that's a bottoming candle. So now watch over 31.65, 31.75. It's important to take profit along the way, good cost basis. Watching 31.75, added right there 31.75. Taking profit as it breaks over 32. Still looking for that first candle to make a new high. Holding at 31.10. Reducing size as it's a little choppy here. Looking for another dip entry. Still waiting for the first candle to make a new high. 29.23. High of this candle. See, we've got like 5 doji candles in a row. So waiting for the next setup. So it feels like it's selling a little bit. Dip trade there, 1,700 share starter. Trying to buy those candle wicks, the lower candle wicks. On that one, I thought that I would get filled like maybe in the 29s. Stopped out for now. Hey, June, enough. Watching for another dip. Volume weight average price is 28. It's up 170%. If it breaks a low of 29, that would be bearish. We're kind of in this consolidating lower. But I'm still watching to buy up dips because this is support at 29. Added 29.50. And next add will be 30. Added at 30. We want to see it reverse off these levels. Added at 31. Now looking to size up over 31.50 for the first green candle to make a new high, and then back over 32. So nice trade there. Added at 32. Now looking for 32.50. Can we get 32.50? 32.50 is the spot that I want to see break. Holding at 31.40 right now. 2,000 shares. Holding smaller size. Our 5-minute chart is a little tricky. The high of this candle is 37.99. That false breakout is tricky. So this is the power of watching these scans. Yesterday, we know we had big momentum on BKKT, but coming into today, I was a little concerned that perhaps it was a bit extended and it started to pull back. So as BKKT has pulled back, attention is shifted to a different stock, and that's WBX right now. Wow. All right, high of this level is 32.60. The question is, where's my next entry? So holding right now 640 shares. I think this is a good time to say as a reminder, trading is risky. Yesterday you guys saw me make $40,000 and then give back half of it. I was up only 20. And then rallied and finished the day up 60,000, but just in 2 trades. It was maybe 2 trades, gave back $20,000. This is the type of stock where one wrong move could be pretty costly. I'm unwinding the position a little bit here as it's pulling back. I'm going to look for another entry off of 29. It did pop up there on some nice volume on that candle. Watching, added down there 28.75. So bought at 28.75 and 28.98 actually was my average. Now looking for the break back over 30. These are bottoming tails. I like to buy bottoming tails, and as it pops back up, I can take a little profit off the table. So watching over 30, added right there at 80 for the break over $30. So there's 83 on the ask, holding 2,800 shares. I'm looking for the break back over 30. There's 29.61 on the ask. Holding 1,500 shares and watching for another add off of 28.75. Added at 29.24. So added down there. Still looking for the break back over 30 bucks. We've got 20 minutes to the bell. We're watching closely the 5-minute chart. We'll be watching for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. Added at 28.80. See if we can get that curl back up over 30 bucks. There's 29.50 on the ask. So if we get a nice crack over 29.50, there's 29.50, holding 2,900 shares. It's not breaking that level. Watching down here. Added at 28.63 for the break back over 24. 28 for the break back over 29. There's 29 on the ask. So this is where I'm buying into the dips for that curl, and then once it starts to curl with conviction, then I start to add as it squeezes up. Right now it's buying the dips, taking a little profit, buying the dip, taking a little profit. I would say 29.50, 29.75 is the spot where I'd be more aggressive. Watching here. So right now I'm still holding, and I'm looking to add. Added there for the break back over 30. Now next ad's 30.50. Now we're looking for 31. See how it rips back up? Look for the break of 31, then 32. Very nice. Watching for an add over 31. Nice green candle on the 1 minute. Added right there at 80. So sizing up at 30.80 for the break over 31, then looking for 32, holding 4,000 shares at the moment. Can it break over 32, 31, and then 32? We've got a bit of a wall there at 96. I'm going to put an order at 31.10. Our 5-minute chart is starting to set up. First 5-minute candle to make a new high. False breakout. Watching for dips. Watching. Bought the dip at 29.59. Dip trade entry. Now looking for the break back over 30. So we've got 29.99. There's 30. By adding down there, I was able to reduce my cost basis a little bit. Holding 3,600 shares. We've got 15 minutes to the bell. This 5-minute candle has about 90 seconds left on it. Holding 2,700 shares. The high of this candle is 31.46. We're still above the volume weight average price. Watching for ads. Added at $29, right at 29 on the dot. Decent ad there. Now looking for 29.75, 29.90, the break back over 30. Got 4.2 million shares of volume, up 166%. We know we have a headline. ROIV, I'm not trusting that one yet. WBX, I think, is the one to focus on. This is a 5-minute setup. First 5-minute candle to make a new high is back over 31. So right now holding, watching 31.46. This 5-minute candle is getting ready to close. So added right there. 4 seconds left on the 5-minute candle. Then we're looking for the squeeze through 31.46. Over 31.46, the ad's 32, 33, 34. Adding right there at 83. So I'm looking for this to squeeze higher. I'm in at 30.30. It's stalling out. That's okay. It's not ready yet. I'm going to try to let it pull back and then get a dip entry. So $29, putting an order at $28.97 on the bid. No fill on the bid. I took profit as it squeezed up there because I sized up a little heavy for the break, and when it didn't break right away at 31, it kind of hesitated there. I didn't feel like that was something I could keep holding. Watching 31.46. So our pre-market high right now is 37.99, 38. Blue sky setup. All-time highs previously were 25.75. Partnership between the wall box. So this is the reason that I'm trading the stock. I put my money where my mouth is and step up to the plate. I didn't have the best initial entry, but then we ended up getting a really nice squeeze right there. And on this pullback at 22, nice 1 minute pullback. High of the last 5 is still 31.46. So sitting up 57,000 in the main account, 94,000 in the retirement account. So $150,000 day right now. It's only 9:17. A reminder that usually the biggest green days start strong. Starting to get dialed in here for the next trade. I think it's got to flush before it breaks. Right now we're in a 5-minute setup. We're right at the volume weight average price. Dip trade at 29.22. So a starter on the dip, only 2,000 shares. I wish I'd gotten filled more, but I tried to buy just under 10,000 shares, but only filled 1,957 shares. So see how we're in this declining wedge. We want to break out of that. We want to break over 31. Want to be mindful on these as always not to overstay your welcome. This 5-minute candle is red. It's closing in about 30 seconds. I'm going to look to add on these dips around 29. Just watching right now. Just letting it pull back a little bit more. I'm not going to be holding it break-even trade. Just got to wait for another entry. This pattern, this is a little risky. I think we might get a flush here down to the VWAP. I'm watching for dip entries. The low of this pullback is 28.20. Watching, will there be a big bid that pops up? Added right there at 29. Let's see if it reclaims 29, then 29.25. That's a tap right off of the 20 moving average. Still holding right now. Looking for an add That's a bounce off the volume weighted average price. Added on the dip at 28.10. So this right now is a dip off the VWAP. We've got 10 minutes to the bell. Oops. Looking for the break back over 29. There's 29.46. Look at that. Look at that dip and that pop back up. So that really tells us how strong this is. That popped all the way up to 29.45. Now over 29.50. Next level to watch. So watching 29.50. Just waiting right now, looking for that dip entry. Added at 57 there. So added at 28.57. Next ad's gonna be 29.25 and then 29.50. Looking for that squeeze over the yellow descending resistance line. Added there at 29.10. So now starting to size up here for the break at 29.50 and then a retest of $30. Let's see if we catch that whip. I'm going to add at 35 and 45. Add it at 35, adding at 45. There's 60. Now can we get the break of 75? So see what this pattern's doing here. Watching with a hotkey for an add over 65 and 75. Watch 65, 75, and then the break through that yellow descending line. Added right there. There's $30 on the ask. Good. Looking for $30.25. There's $30.05. There's $30.25. That's about $1 a share. Now let's just watch this dip entry added down there, $28.85. Added at $28.85. That's an irrational flush. I catch the dip for the pop back up to $29.60, then $29.75. So when you catch those dips and then the pop right back up, that's what we like. Still looking for it to hold over $30. Unwinding the rest of the position for now. It's pulling back a little more than I'd like. The mark there is 30.20. So we're right kind of at the volume weight average price. We've got like 6 minutes to the bell. The dips are definitely giving good entries. Added 27.92 right there. Another dip trade off the VWAP. VWAP is at 27.63. So these starters around the volume weight average price, these are nice entries. There's 28.30. Get the opportunity to take a little profit and then hold the rest. BRPM on the scanners right here. Let's see. I gotta focus on this one. So looking for another dip entry. Added at 27.02. Buying the dip for the break over 27.50. I'm thinking on this 5 minutes to the bell. There's 43 on the ask. Holding 110 shares now. So it's breaking the volume weight average price. I like to dip trade when it's at the VWAP for that curl back up. But right now it's breaking, so I'm going to let it pull back for a second and then try to catch another setup on it. Let me just take a quick look at BRPM. Yeah. So BRPM. So I'll take a starter there at 14.50 and then 14.75 add. So I size up, looking for now the squeeze through 15. This is hitting the scanners. Watch 75. Add spot is 14.75 and then 85 for the breakthrough 15. It's up 28%, holding 10,000 shares right now, but taking the loss on it. $8,600 loss. That should have immediately gone through 15. So, you know, a quick $8,000 loss on that trade. That was jumping in momentum. It was hitting the scanners. I was adding for the squeeze through 15. It didn't break. Now, let me switch back to WBX. Watching here, added at 25 for the pop back up to 25.50 and 26. That's catching the bottom of that tail. There's 26.21. Average is 25.02. 25.80, holding 1,000 shares, taking a little off the table. There's 26.30, 26.40. BRPM. You know, you can't win them all, and the thing to do is just to be ruthless, just to cut the loss, let it go, and move on to the next one. If you're going to trade with big size, the winners are going to be big, the losers are going to be big also. That's just the way it goes. We've got 3 minutes to the bell. Holding 500 shares of WBX at 25.02. So for the last few minutes, aside from the loss on BRPM, we've had a little bit of momentum on the dip, but things are slowing down a little bit from that move that we had. Watch, added it 25.36. So looking for 25. I'm just gonna cut that loss there. So sitting at 94,000 right now in the retirement account. But dip trades are what I like. Starter at 23.49. So 23.49, a 2,000 share starter, back up to 24. Two minutes to the bell. So trading is risky, easy come, easy go. In less than a minute, I lost almost $9,000 on BRPM. But cutting a loss, focusing on the next stock. I want you to remember, as always, my results are not typical. Trading is risky. Most beginner traders will lose money, so you shouldn't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. You need to trade in a simulator before you put real money on the line. We've got 90 seconds to the bell. 24.50. Watching the daily levels. So right now I have no open positions. Thirty seconds to the bell. Thank you for those tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. I hope you've enjoyed the pre-market watch list and the morning show. 3 seconds to the bell. I'm going to be sitting at the open and just watching. A little bit of an imbalance there at the open. So WBX is having an imbalance at the open. That's why it's trading on zero volume. The volume will start coming in, but it's possible that it pops and then drops. So just be careful. BRPM also popping back up. BRPM obviously would need to break over 15 though, so I don't know. There was a huge amount of resistance as it came up to that level on BRPM. So we know our catalyst there. BKKT is pulling back a little bit. Right now, WBX is too volatile. The range there is too big. Just waiting. BRPM. Halt level is in the 90s. Small trade there. Let's see if it goes up to the 90s. It's like a $300 winner. Probably a short below 15. So pretty much the same strategy as before, only with smaller size that time because I didn't really trust it. I wouldn't trade it with big size until I've recouped losses. WBX, we'd want to see it break the volume weighted average price. Right now it's dipping down, taking along at 23.83 on the dip. So holding right now, WBX, possible add is over 26. So watch the break over 25.50, then 25.75. Kind of choppy here. I'm only in at 23.83, holding 200 shares for now. The high of that candle's 26. See the choppiness on WBX right now? It's kind of funny. The volume is actually lighter right now than pre-market. That's very uncommon. It almost makes me wonder if there's a routing issue or something's not working right, because that's very unusual. When real volume comes in, we should see a nice move. So there's a spike of volume. Okay, so now volume's coming in. So a little bit of a funny open. Watching dip trade there, bought the dip, next ads. There we go. So let's look for the squeeze into a halt going up over 27. Holding 2,000 shares. I didn't trade it with enough size on that move. That was just a weird open. A weird open. BKKT, clearly attention is shifted from BKKT to a different stock. That's very common. OLB on the scanners. Hey, those tuning in on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. RDBX, let me check Manoli. RDBX. Nice. Good luck. Got it. Thanks, Benny. I hope to see some P&Ls posted today. See how you guys did. It's okay if you're posting in the sim. If you're in the sim, it means you're making good decisions. So right now, RDBX, red box, showing a 23.45 resumption. That would be gapping above the volume weight average price. WBX is halted. On a circuit breaker, I'm holding 2,000 shares. Nice. Nice, Jonathan. 2,400 bucks. Brandon, 86, 686. April, 32. Raphael, 75. All right. 22,000 realized, 5,000 unrealized there. 5,900, 1,800, 1,300. Nice flat. Good job. Nice, Jack. Chris, good work. 1,500 bucks. That's awesome. Andreas, 1,200. Andrea. All right, so putting a new order at $28. Resumption is going to be in about 1 minute. If it's a 5-minute long halt, it may be a 10-minute long halt. This is the highest volume candle of the day, right there. Highest volume on that green candle. Nice on OCGN. Halt level 1268. All right, so looking at $28, moving my order up to $28.50. Manage risk, be cautious. It needs to hold above the volume weight average price. Okay, so watching resumption here in about 10 seconds if it's a 5-minute long halt. Yep, Benny's got his $1 million badge. Watching. 27.50 is the spot to watch. Then 28, still halted. That may mean 10-minute long halt. Nice, Clay, $6,000, good for you. So WBX is still halted, but remember this is a nicey stock. So we had nicey yesterday and we had funny resumption times. Thank you, Elijah, exactly. So I'm just gonna keep watching the level 2 for resumption. Watching. Watch for add over 27.50. Taking the profit off at 27, it opened lower, needs to break over 27.50. Orders at 27.50. Watching for dips. Dip trade bought at 25.37 for the break over 26. Watching $26. Watch the add over 70, added right there for the break over 26. Now look for the squeeze through, no. Let's see, so holding small size. Let's see whether or not, if it false halts, I might add. Watching. Orders at 24. Nope, it's a halt. So we'll take a bit of a loss on the add there, and that's fine. To fade off the VWAP. Watching watching RDBX. So the halt on this was 31.46. Resumption showing 23.40. I'll put an order around 24. Smaller size to start. Resumption in about 30 seconds. Up 82%. Okay, so let's watch this. Resumption. Watching. Quick ad there, 23.41. Looking for the breakthrough, 23.45. I've got 3,000 shares. Watch over 23. This is a test of the VWAP. Watch 23.45, then 24. Added right there. Nice. Taking some profit off the table. Nice. So that was one of those times where it pulled back and then ripped. I went with small share size. The high is 25.78. So let's watch to see how it does a dip on this level here. Halt level's 26.04. Nice dip and rip on RDBX. Didn't make as much on it as I could have, but we'll watch on resumption. RDBX warrant, so let's look. I'll buy those at 424 the warrants because the stock is halted. So watch RDBXW warrants over 35 and 40. So I'm in right now at 23, 70,000 share bid at 16. $4 million shares on the warrants. Added at 25, next adds 35. Remember, when the stock halts, the warrants keep trading. So now look for a squeeze up to 35.40 into 50. Next adds over 431. Stopped out. Surprised that that didn't go further, considering the stock is halted, but stopped out for a $1,500 loss. So flat between those, well, down 400 between those two trades. WBX, we'll watch resumption. SHPW, I'm not sure. Yep, nice bounce on BKKT. Alright, so watching resumption on WBX. Generally, on something like this, the low there is 22.87. So watch for dips and short covering bounces. Added right there, 23. So try to catch the dip and the bounce back up. Watch back over 23. So you can see, there we go. There's, as it starts to curl up, now you want to see the break over $23. There's 23 on the ask. So took the loss on it, probably a $12,000 loss or so, but that's all right. It's 9:45. Another halt down. If it false halts, could be another entry. Quick long there at 52. It's a false halt. Catch the pop back up to 21. Watch over 21 for an add. Added at 72. So see how it starts to curl there? You look for that pop back up. Holding right now at 44. New order. Watch if it false halts. It started a false halt. This will probably open more or less flat because it's a slow halt. So new order at $20. RDBX, I'll keep that one on watch. So my average is 20.44. RDBX, 26. Resumption should be in about 40 seconds, showing 26.04, which would be flat. Scanners. So, you know, you have a stock that starts ripping up the scanners, it's worth taking a look at. Not super familiar with this one, the volume's light, but it's a fairly nice chart. Blue sky is above 580. So bought 4,000 shares there, going into the halt from 26. It's only a 4,000 share trade. I'm happy with that. I'm going to move, false halt, moving the new order up to 36. Added at 37, there's 49. So halt's now 48. RDBX. Watching in case that false halts. So a lot of volatility today, for sure. Halt down, back down there. SQL, only $300 of profit. Definitely seems like a time to kind of unwind a little bit, cool down until we see something that starts to give a curl. Kind of like what we got yesterday. So WBX, watch this in this area on resumption. I'm already in, but we'll see what we get. LIDR. Now the nice thing with RDBX is it's still above the VWAP. LIDR. Halted up. We'll watch it. A lot of volatility. So you can make money going up and going back down both ways. So we started to get a false halt there. And then it came back down into a real halt. I still look at this as two halts going down, reversal, coming back up, but I might be early. So sometimes you have the right idea, but your timing's wrong. So we'll see where it opens. I'll probably look to add, see if I can catch a little bounce. But I'm in right now at 20.44. So I'll put my order at 20.50. If it opens flat or high, I'm definitely going to add for that curl back up to the volume weight average price. If it opens lower, I'll watch around the 200 moving average and see whether or not we get a bounce off that level. Resumption in about, let's see, 46, 51, 39, so 2 minutes, 1 minute. VLDR popping up. Those that want to learn more about my strategy, you can check it out over here, warriortrading.com/strategy. All right, so watching WBX on resumption, orders at $20.50. Watching. So let's see if it breaks back over 20, bottoming tail. 2044 is my average, and then 2050. That's a green doji, adding there at 20. It's a green doji candle. Let's see if we squeeze up to $20.50. So right idea on that one. Still a little choppy, but green doji at the bottom, pin bar off the 200, but not a very big winner relative to the risk on the trade, I suppose. And I still gave back, 12,000 or whatever it was on that drop up here. And then added, where was it? Whatever it was. So, anyways, all right. Well, and holding all cash in the other account, so sitting up, around $150,000 on the day. Traded pretty aggressively, up 160 on WBX. I'd like to see it hold this level and curl back up the way we had on BKKT. Yesterday I did about $60,000 of profit on BKKT, and I stopped trading it right here. That was the end of my day, right there. It ended up going on to make this really impressive move. So I'd like to be hopeful that WBX does something like that as well, but you just never know. And that's the you never know is the reason to take profit when you have it. Because, today if I didn't take profit on WBX, well, it's coming back down. Yesterday, if I didn't take profit on BKKT and just let it ride, well, might have made $500,000 or more. But you just don't know. And if your goal is to try to have any level of consistency, then you need to take profit when you have it. Yep, so the washout, so the big sell-off and then that curl off the low. 2060 was that last high. Green candle on the 5. The only thing to be cautious of is the possibility of a bear flag, but we are right above the 200 moving average. We're still below the volume weight average price. What was it? BBLN? Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. Is there news on it today? Well, you're right. You shouldn't blindly follow me or anyone else, but you should learn from as many people as you can. And if you can learn something about momentum from watching these streams, then I think that that's valuable. Day trading is risky. You're not going to find a day trading strategy out there that's not risky, because trading is risky. Now, having said that, you could focus on trading dividend stocks, you could focus on trading utility stocks, and maybe you'd find less volatility there, and you'd feel and find that that's less risky for you. That's fine. Or you could focus on trading options. Those are extremely risky. Or you could focus on trading large caps or small caps. There's a million different, or you could focus on trading cryptocurrency. Wherever you want to trade, you can trade. But there's risk everywhere you go. So you have to make a decision about what's right for you. I don't think it's fair to try to make that decision for someone else, to say, oh, this strategy is just too volatile, period. No one should trade it. Well, I don't think that that's something that any one person can decide for everyone else. You have to decide for yourself, what is a good fit? I have a higher risk tolerance perhaps than others, but I don't have the highest risk tolerance out of everyone out there. I've heard of traders taking 100, 200, 300,000 share positions. You haven't seen me do something like that. So there's some people out there that have a willingness to take tremendous amounts of risk, of course, knowing that the reward, if they're right, is also significant. BBLN, so the high there is 1291, so 1291 is the level that you would want to watch. WBX looks like it did a false halt, which is good. MCAD hitting our scanners here. Another one, it looks like a SPAC. So we're definitely seeing interest in SPACs right now. Nice, Manoli. Good for you. A $2 a share bounce. Manoli. I typed in Manoli. WBX. Good for you. So from 17 up to 19. That's nice. Very nice. It's starting to curl. I was a little nervous when it looked like it was going to halt down, but then bounce right back up. Oh, BBLN. There's 1346, 1350 halting up. So here we go. So you got that dip and that curl. That's called a dip and rip. That one went without me. LIDR. And BRPM coming up as well. BRPM. Well, it's the one that I'm red on, so I am a little cautious there. 25,000. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Nice trade. Good work. So he just locked up 25,000 on that bounce. I got out of mine a little too soon, but sometimes after you take a couple losses, you start to get a little gun shy. So getting out for a small win or break even, sometimes that feels like the right decision. BBLN, 1346, halt. Nice, Geronimo. Good job. 1,800 bucks. It's a good day. Got to be grateful for these days. So Max says Manoli's locking up 25,000. I'm locking up 250. So that's a measure of share size. But you don't want to trade with big share size until you have confidence. If you trade with big share size when you don't have confidence, you're going to have big losses. And then with the lack of confidence, those losses morally are devastating. They're devastating. So you can't trade with big share size until you can feel comfortable handling those losses. And you're not going to feel comfortable trading with size until you have some consistency under your belt. Hidden seller on BRPM at 15. The high back here was 1574. I would say if it breaks over 15, I'd be a buyer. So quick long there, 1512, 1510. I want to see it continue up through 1525. I'm in right now at 1510. Look at that. So big buyer down there at 1430. So this will be the second time I've jumped in this one and taken a loss. So $3,000 loss on that. This one's tricky. I mean, you've got these big red candles. That one pre-market, that one right there. So that one's going to have to go on the no trade list. Can't take any more trades on it. Nice on WBX, curling a little bit more. Nice surge of buying there. That green candle, that's good to see. All of a sudden, the volume picked up big time on that candle. Still below its moving averages, but really nice to see that volume. Nice, JB. Good for you. You have to get an update to your badge. He says he's up over 500,000 over the last 4 days on Tesla. Wow, good for you. So WBX, see how it's curling up here? This is tricky because it's below some of these moving averages. So we'll see how well it holds up. It's got to get back above the VWAP for that. If we're going to get a big move on it, it's got to get back above VWAP. That's what we had yesterday on KKT. We were below VWAP yesterday, and then we got that really nice curl. So that's what we need, below VWAP and then curl. It's got to get above it. So WBX has a little ways to go. VWAP's at 24.38, but you never know. BBLN, don't see news on it, but from 10 to 1346 and halted up. Only 200,000 shares of volume. And look at BRPM. BRPM is back at 1520. This is a hard stock to trade. It's because it just pops up, drops down, pops up. The spots that you think are a breakout, like a break of a $0.50, whole dollar, well, they end up rejecting. Nice curl on WBX. There you go. Look at that rip. Now back up. Oh, BBLN is open from the halt. So this has now got a high of 1482. Wow. So 1482 is the level that we need to break. Looks like there's a stack of sellers at 47. That's interesting. Interesting level 2 there, and stack at 34. So there's something funny on that level 2. Oh my gosh, on RDBX. Holy smokes. That might be something to watch for a bounce. That's a big drop. That's almost 10 points. So where might we find support? The halt was 58.48, so we're coming up to resumption fairly soon. What do you think, Manoli? Is this a washout setup? 1850, 19? Maybe a spring off those levels? Watching. Quick long. Only filled 179 shares. Come on. 179 shares. That's not going to work. All right. Let's see what this does. So I've got 179 shares. 18 big spreads on RDBX. Spreads are bigger. Okay, so the high of that candle is 1949. Right now we're in consolidation. Let's see if it retests the low before giving us that curl. Watching RDBX. Didn't retest the low. There you go. All right, well, 1985, that's good. Just couldn't take big share size on it, couldn't get filled. Nice, Lisa, good job. Nice, Larissa. Good job. All right, Warrior Pro students, 10:30 Eastern. RDBX back down at 1750. What a rejection. 10 points from 27 down to 17. Come on. That's crazy. What a sell-off. WBX started to curl up, but ran out of steam. Nice, Kevin. Yeah, BRPM is tricky. I'm surprised how much that reversed. I mean, that's a pretty nasty one. Sorry to hear, Ken. Mark had a pretty nasty pullback yesterday, too. BBLN, still pretty light on volume. Stack of sellers at 36. BRPM from 15 back to 1350 on that red candle flush. So got another one. So what we've had the last couple days, BBLN, worth keeping an eye on. The halt level is 1473. I'll take a quick, only 1,000 shares. It's just not typical. So 1,000 shares at 1435. Now it's already in a halt. So, you know, it's 500 bucks. We'll see where it opens. It's just when you have something that bullish where it drops and then rips back up, it's worth, I think it's worth taking a stab on it. High green volume, but I only got filled 1,000 shares. I tried for 6,000, only filled 1,000. So, you know, partial fill on BBLN. But we'll see. We'll see if it gives more opportunities. Yeah, this is gotta look this one up. WBX, VLDR. Yeah, nice range on BKKT. So watch BBLN on resumption. I'll see if I can get a dip and a rip on another trade. Resumption's going to be 10:14 approximately. Okay. All right, so we got about a minute to resumption. All right, so let's see what we get for resumption on BBLN. So put the order maybe around 1520. 1488 was the halt level. Showing 1550 resumption, I'm going to move my order up to 16. Thanks, Benny. We're still halted. So I only have 1,000 shares on it right now. And, you know, on resumption, I could just sell those and take a profit. But if this opens strong, then it should give a dip and rip opportunity. And that by itself is worth watching. So watching over 1527. Ah, come on. So I'm back to break even on it. 1428, 1440. Usually this is pretty bullish when that happens, but yeah, I guess not this time. Well, I think it was worth a try in any case. So WBX needs to curl quite a bit more. BKKT needs to get back above the volume weighted average price as well. RDBX, low is 1660. CYN. Thanks, Benny. News from yesterday. Well, it's just hard to know which one's gonna be the one, which one's gonna gain some attention and hold up. Yesterday's high on this one was way up at 991. So certainly if it breaks that level, then you've got something you're working with. IINN moving up as well. So this one, you know, all of a sudden goes from 240 to 310. Halt levels 339. It's hard to know. Typically on something like this, over 308, 310, I'd be a buyer because the volume is coming in here. But if this reverses, then you have a big topping tail. So CYN, worth watching. The high there was 33. So a nice resumption from the halt, but then pulling back a bit. So we need to break over 933. And you can see how it's pulling back. So if it broke over 933, I'd be a buyer to anticipate that level, then 950, 970, and see if you get continuation, but it doesn't seem like that's happening right now. Wow, look at how fast that shifts. That's tricky. So the high there is 945. I'll put an order at 960, but we'll see. It's very choppy right now. Popped up and pulled right back down. HUDI, this one made a move yesterday. The problem is the spreads are pretty big on it. So watching resumption on BBLN. Halted at 1440, I'm holding at 1435. So took the loss on it, up 89,000 on the day. I'm going to call it a day there. We're getting close to 10:30, and it certainly seems like things are slowing down. So took the loss on resumption. Good luck for those that keep trading. CYN, IINN, maybe you never know, BBLN. LIDR for the breakthrough 7. But today, it doesn't feel like we got that like 10:30 to 11 or 10 to 11 late morning surge of momentum, really. I mean, a couple of scattered things popping up, but nothing that was really, really strong. So I gave back some profit off the top, maybe about 15,000. Was up, I think, around 105 in this account. But so finishing the day at 103,000 on WBX in my retirement, plus 57 in the main account. So 160,000 on WBX and some losses on a couple others. So really we had one, and unfortunately that one didn't give me that 10 a.m. breakout that we got yesterday on BKKT. That's what's disappointing. But good job for those trading. LIDR up at 7. Good luck for those that keep looking for things. I'm going to take the money off the table. So 90 plus 57, so about $146,000 today. There's LIDR up through the highs, 720. Breaking right there, there's 736, 740, 16 million shares of volume. $23 million share float. Halt level is 751. Is it going to squeeze to a halt? Maybe. Halt level is still 51. It's now moved up to 73. Halt level moved up. So, all right, I'm taking it off the table. I'll try again tomorrow. See if I can do better tomorrow.